Good morning, kids. It's Mr. AG here, and we're going to go through your math assignment for um, Wednesday, September 30th. So you will need your green book, your Module 1 workbook to keep up with me, and we're only going to focus on problems numbered 1 and 2 in this lesson. As you probably have figured out, we're near the end. This is actually the last lesson in this unit, and as the lessons progress in Eureka Math, they get harder and more complicated. And so this is kind of like the most complicated of the problems that we're going to be facing. And you'll see that in your assignment, when you go into the math folder, you'll have the Wednesday Math 2 Lesson 21 homework. You're only to complete problems 1 and 2. And the problems that we're going to do in just a moment are just like the problems that you're going to have in your work. So it's a good idea to keep up with me here and go through the motions with me as I'm talking through it and think about the things that I'm saying as you're working through copying the things that I'm writing in so that you have an idea of what to do when you have to face this on your own. So for lesson 21, the objective is for you to look at multi-step problems or two-step problems that involve any of the 4 operations: add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So you've got to be able to think about these problems, reason your way through them. So make those pictures in your mind, visualize the stories, and figure out, okay, what are the missing pieces? What do I know? And how do I get to the end? What pieces are missing that I need to fill in to figure out what to do to answer the question? So we're going to go ahead and get started. You should have your green book with you. We're in number 1 in the lesson 21 problem set. I'll go ahead and read it to you. In your assignment, don't forget you can use the text-to-speech feature to read the problem to you. And you have all these tools to mark up the text and answer any questions, or help yourself with those tools to answer the questions that are being asked or that come up for you as you're solving these problems. So here we go. Jason earns $6 per week for doing all his chores. Okay, so he gets paid for doing work at home. On the 5th week, he forgets to take out the trash, so he only earns $4. So he doesn't make as much in that 5th week. So we can assume that in weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, he did all of his chores and he got $6 in each of those weeks. Write and solve an equation to show how much Jason earns in 5 weeks. Okay, so the first 4 weeks he earns his $6. You see this tape diagram here. Each of these first 4 bars or units are the same length. So we've got $6, $6, $6, $6. That's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And to find the total, we add on this $4 that he earned in that 5th week. So our equation is going to be the $6 that he earns in the first 4 weeks. So that's each week he earns $4. So that's 6 times 4. $6 times 4 weeks. And so the last part we're just going to add on because it's an additional amount of money, but it doesn't fit in with the equal groups problem. So we're going to just add using the plus sign 4 more dollars. Okay, and so now we have to figure out what is 6 times 4. You can use your count by list if you've got it written down, or you could count by 4s 6 times, or you could break it into smaller problems and do 5 times 4. So we know that 5 times 4 is 5, 10, 15, 20, and then one more 4 is going to be 24. So that gives us our 6 times 4 is 24, and now we have to add on 4 more dollars to 24, and we end up with 28. I'm going to go ahead and put the dollar symbol in. $28 altogether. So Jason earns $28. So let's just break it down into the steps. The first step is to figure out how many he earned in the first 4 weeks. That's a multiplication problem, $6 times 24. So 6 times, not times 24, 6 times 4 for the 4 weeks. And then the second step was to add on the $4 for the last week in which he did not earn the full $6. So this story kind of tells us that the last week is different from the first 4 weeks. We have to do something different to calculate the total. Okay, so hopefully that helped you in the work that you're going to be doing in the homework. The first problem is similar to this. Now you might not have the same operations here, but the kind of thinking that you'll have to do to solve the problem is similar. So you'll break it down into what's the first thing I know, what's the equation for that, and what's the second thing that I know. How do I put that into the equation to solve it? Okay, moving on. This one is a little bit trickier. This is the last one we're going to do because your problems that are number 1 and number 2 in the homework. So let's take a look at this. You can use the text-to-speech feature to read it for yourself in your work. I'll go ahead and read it. Miss Leonto orders 4 packs of 7 markers. Okay. I think I know what that means. She's probably a teacher. She's ordering markers and they come in packs, and each pack has 7 in it. Okay, that sounds like a problem right there. I don't know what the total is, but I'm thinking I can figure out that total by multiplying the number of packs times the number of markers. So this is the groups, 4 groups, and the size of the group is 7. And just looking down here, it looks like this first tape diagram might represent that. So I've got 1 pack, 2 packs, 3 packs, 4 packs, and each one of these units is 7. So this represents the total number of markers. After passing out 1 marker to each student in her class, okay, this is a little tricky. I don't know how many students are in her class, but I know that she gives them each 1 marker, so every marker would represent 1 student. She has 6 left over. Oh my gosh. All right, so so this is my total number of markers, and it's higher. I can tell right now the total number of markers is higher than the number of students in her class because she's got 6 left over after giving 1 marker to each student in her class. So you can see how I'm thinking through it as I'm reading it. I'm trying to make sense of it and make it real in my mind. I'm doing that visualization that I keep teaching every single day in our live lessons to make the story real. So now here's what they want me to do. Label the tape diagram to find out how many students are in Miss Leonto's class. Okay, so I've got 2 steps to do. First, I have to figure out how many markers she had altogether. And then I have to take away the 6 markers she had left over, because each marker she handed out would represent a student. And so I have to figure out how many markers did she hand out. That'll give me the number of students. So here I'm going to put my equation for the total number of markers that she ordered. So I've got 7 packs, 7 groups times 4. I'm sorry, I said it backwards. 4 packs times 7 markers in each pack. I could use my count by in my that I asked you to write down yesterday, and I also asked you to write down previously as we were going through our live lessons. I could find the 7th multiple of 4, or I could use that same strategy that I used in the problem before. I can break this 7 up into 5 and 2. So I know that 4 times 5 is 20, so 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I've got 2 more 4s left over. So 2 4s is going to be 4 plus 4 is 8. So I've got 5 times 4 is 20, and then the 2 times 4 that's left over out of that 7 is going to be 8. So 20 and 8 gives me 28 markers total. All right, so now down here, if you look, this section here tells me so I would actually I would guess that they would label this total here, because you can see that the bars here, not the bars, but the tapes are the same length. So the tape would represent 28 things, right? So this tape here is 28. This tape here is exactly the same length, and so it's going to be 28 total items. I'm going to just note that here. This tape is 28 total markers, and we when we're reading this problem, after passing out 1 marker to each student, we know that she's got 6 markers left over. So however many markers she passed out is the number of students she's got. So the second equation is going to be my total number of markers, 28, and then subtract out the 6 markers that she had left over at the end, and that will give me the total number of students. So I can count back from 28 to find my total number of students. So I'll do a count back. I'll hold up 6 fingers and just count back from 28. So when I take the first one away, it's 27, and then I've got 5 more to take away. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Okay, so there are 22 total students. And I got to make sure I'm answering these things here. So there are 22 students. And so up here, was there anything else to label? Nope. So it says label the tape diagrams. I'm going to go ahead and put total. I'm going to put this represents the markers, and this would represent. It's kind of tricky what they want you to put in the tape diagram here. This would be you'd be solving for the number of students. So I'll just put number of students, and then I'll fix this here. I'll put it. So you'll use this tape here to find the total number of markers, and here you're using this tape diagram to find the number of students. All right, guys, this is kind of tricky work, and so I'm going to go through where you're going to find your assignment today. You're free to try to finish all of the problems in the assignment, but you're going to click into the Wednesday Math 2 Lesson 21 homework. You're going to open the assignment with Cami. When you open the assignment, you'll see that it looks very, very similar to the work that we just did. You've got a problem here where they give you a first part. The first part is going to involve the equal portions here, so it's going to be either multiplication or division, and then the second part, they tell you, oh, in this last part, there's something different, and so how do you add that in or subtract that from the first part to find a finished product? Okay, so it's Tina eating crackers. They want to know how many she's going to eat in a week. And then the next one I kind of marked up for you to try to help you. It's fine with me if you leave these blanks here. I want to see that you can write equations in these boxes. I've put a red box here around where you'll find the red box. The red box goes with the red box. So his reading goal, Balio's reading goal, is going to be this section here. And that's what it represents. You got to have to write the equation for Balio's reading goal here. And these are the only 2 problems that I'm asking you to do. Now, it is challenging, and if you'd like, you can go down here and try to figure out these last 2 problems if you have time. If you want to challenge yourself, that's totally fine with me. Don't stress about this. Just do the best that you can, and if you need some help from an older adult, or an older sibling, then you can ask for help if you'd like. Or if you have questions, make sure you ask questions during the live sessions that we have. Do your best. As always, if you're doing your best, that's the most important thing. And good luck with this assignment. And it's the last one in this unit. We're getting ready to move on to some new material. So we have some fun things to look forward to. Enjoy your time, and don't stress, and good luck.